you make is how much you keep. That counts. Hold on a second. Can y'all hear me? Give me a second. Chill, y'alls. Let me just run a quick check, okay? Because I don't know if y'all can hear me or how well. Just checking. Excellent. Excellent quality. Excellent quality. I know there's a lot of background noise because the truck is on full blast. But we're going to back up now into the spot while we wait for a door. We're at the pickup in Peabody. I don't usually pronounce it that way. It's Peabody as far as I'm concerned. One of my sisters got to live out here in Peabody. Her childrens were running around calling this place Peabody. Peabody. Okay? That's Peabody. I know these peoples out here in Massachusetts, they call it Peabody. Yeah, I wasn't raised out in Massachusetts. I'm gonna call it. Repeat after me. Peabody. Gosh. Peabody. It's all good though. If I hear somebody say Peabody, I know where they're from. Hey, who's up in here right now? What it is? TD Knives, how are you, man? TD, you're from Mass? Oh man, you from Mass? Peabody. Cheech and Chong, how's it going? Everything up in smoke or what? Cheech and Chong. Oh, you grew up here? Yeah, one of my younger cousins played for the Red Sox. Yeah, thank you. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you so much for that. Yeah, you should smoke if you got them. I agree. But in this career choice of mine, I can't be smoking that stuff. Not allowed. I get tested randomly. So it's not going to work. There was a time when I started in this business, you could have done a drug test in one company. All right. Okay, Cheech and Chong, I appreciate that because you're a real brother. Yeah. So when I started in this business, if you were positive during an application, maybe, or even if you were if the company you were working for whatever amount of time you were working for them for, if they just decided to do a random on you and you came up positive, you can clean up for a while and go apply somewhere else. Well, you can help prevent forest fires by smoking it somewhere else. That'll work. No bueno. I gotta make sure. I gotta pay attention to this phone because I'm gonna get called for a door. That's what I'm waiting on. A door. When my dispatcher gave me this load to come pick up in Peabody, Mass. I thought it was kind of fishy that he would send me up down here when I was up in Maine. Oh, I got a notification that Windy City National Transportation is now hiring. But they're hiring, yeah, well, up in Maine we got some snow. Oh, look at this. Walkaway lease and no balloon payments. I would have to call Tessa Fox. Yeah. Only thing is, I'm not interested. Yeah, we got some snow up in Maine. I was up there too. How far was I? Man, I forgot how far up I was. I was pretty far up there. I was like 130 miles north of the border of New Hampshire and Maine. But I can't remember the name of the town. Winslow. Yeah, there you go. I was up in Winslow. Matter of fact, put it up here on this Google map to see what well-known town I was next to. Oh yeah, I go through Colorado. I was in Colorado maybe about a month ago. I was up in Denver. Waterville and Augusta. Waterville. I was by Waterville. Shy of Bangor. By maybe 100 miles shy of Bangor. Yeah, Colorado. But right around this time of the year, I don't like going anywhere near. Well, I don't like I-70, going across I-70 this time of the year. The last time I went through I-70, I was in California. I picked up a load in Denver, headed to California. I forget where in California. And it was just before the winter, but on I-70, that I guess it doesn't matter because it can snow along the Rockies at any time. So as I'm going through I-70 and the highest peak is in a tunnel on I-70. Oh, no, you're welcome. So I-70, the highest peak in I-70 is in a tunnel. I don't remember the name of that tunnel. but it's over 11,000 feet in altitude. I didn't have to chain up, and I was thanking God that I did not have to chain up. I despise chaining up. The first time I chained up was at Donner's Pass in California. I remember because it traumatized me. Putting those chains on, only to lose a chain as I was descending from the mountain onto Nevada. Lost the chain. Eisenhower Tunnel, yeah, the Eisenhower Tunnel. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check to see what the accurate elevation is. Let me ask Google. What is the altitude inside the Eisenhower Tunnel on I-70 in Colorado? It's populating now. 11,158 feet. Yep. Yep. And that kind of, yeah, it's 11,158 feet. That's pretty wild. DS, my brother from another mother. Yeah, I guess when you're up in that type of altitude, it does impact your body, from what I understand. It does. The tallest peak in the 40. Hey, no. Well, thank you for stopping by. I've been letting my facial hair grow. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know how long I'm going to let it grow this time. I've been letting my hair grow too. I'm trying to do a Moses, you know what I mean? Thank you. There's the hair. Thank you. And I was just talking about driving on I-70. Yeah, grow it while I got it. Yeah, one of my children wanted to see me with long hair. They have long hair. Well, yeah, they have long hair. Especially the 13-year-old. 13-year-old has long hair. His mom cuts it every so often, but it grows. She lets it grow down to his shoulder. And my 8-year-old has long hair, but she doesn't let his grow down to his shoulders, though. My 3-year-old, she's not growing hair. She's got these little curls. I don't know what her deal is, but she's a tough one. Oh, yeah. You got that thick, long hair? Yeah, that's how my mom was. My mom she grew her hair down to her knees, but it started giving her headaches. Yeah, that's my winter fur. Yeah, my mother grew her hair down to her knees, but she wound up cutting it maybe just shy of a shoulder length, because she said she was getting too many headaches. I guess that weight on her scalp gave her headaches. Oh man. Oh yeah. I needed that. Oh, it was down to your butt, Nunu? Yeah. So I guess, the weight on your hair, on your scalp, causes headaches. Yeah. The longest I let my hair grow was for 5 years straight. My dad, on the other hand, was bald. I don't know what his deal was. I never met my grandfather from my father's side, so I don't know if that was something that he inherited from his father, or is that something you usually inherit from the mothers? No, I'm not gonna do a split time today. My only concern is once I get out of here. What time is it now? Okay. So my appointment is for 3 o'clock. And I'm just waiting on a door right now. I already checked in. So I'm waiting on a door. I'm looking at some trucks that are in a door since I got here. And I see one driver get out of his truck. He's taking a walk now. I don't know what that means. I've been here since what? I've been here for the past half hour. I've been here for the past half hour. So, and this guy's been in the door for half an hour. And he got out of his truck and started walking around. That could mean that it might take a while. And if these people get me loaded by 4 o'clock, do you want me to come back on live, Nuno? If you want me to, I will. Or are you trying to arrange it for your own live? No, I'm going to Minnesota. What's the yes for, Nuno? You want me to go live again, or do you want me to? Or are you gonna go live and you want me to hold off? So if I'm loaded, let's say I get the door at 3, and I'm loaded by 4. Oh, my live? Okay, I'll do another one. I don't know what time though. That's the only thing. If I'm loaded by 4 o'clock, I'm near Boston. I'm just, what is it? Where's Peabody? Peabody is northeast of Boston. Maybe northeast. Definitely north, but not by much. Boston is right there. The traffic. Yeah, make sure you hit that notification so that, just in case. There it is. It might be them. Let's listen. I don't know who this is. Hello?
Hey, there's a gentleman pulling out of door 10 just about now. As soon as he's out of the way, go ahead back into door number 10.
Got it. Door 10.
Yep, I just need you to slide your tandems back. Make sure your reefer's at minus 10. If you have any load locks, anything on the floor, please take it out to the side.
Absolutely. Will do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Door 10. Thank you. I repeated that door. Confirmation. Well, you see, that's one of the things I notified my dispatcher about. As a matter of fact, oh, hurry up and wait, yeah. So I'm gonna head into some traffic. Yeah, it's almost 3 o'clock and I got the door. And it's gonna be crazy. Because I'm gonna head right into traffic. Right into traffic I'm gonna head into. And the traffic out here is horrendous. Horrendous. And then I've got 6 hours of 6 hours and 47 minutes of drive time remaining. And what does that mean to have 6 hours and 47 minutes of drive time remaining? Here's the problem, up to my dispatcher's attention. I'm going to be stuck in this traffic for a long time. However, 4 o'clock, I'm not going to get very far. And I need to start looking for a parking spot by no later than 6:30 or 7 o'clock. In this area here, if I don't find a parking spot between 6:30 and 7 o'clock, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Because there's no place to park. This is the Northeast. All the parking spots are taken. And if you try to park anywhere that isn't a designated truck spot, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Because the cops, they're going to have that ticket ready for you. I'm in Peabody, Massachusetts. But the people up here in Massachusetts call it Peabody. I give them that look. Like, what do you mean? What are you saying? Are you saying puberty? What are you saying? They pronounce it Peabody. If you look at the spelling, being that you're not from here, you're gonna say Peabody. P-E-A body. B-O-D-Y. P body. I'm gonna take you guys with me. We're gonna open the doors. We're gonna pull the load bar out of the trailer. As you heard what they said, anything under 4 is $1. And then we're gonna pull the button so that we can slide the tandems all the way to the back. Now, if somebody's new to this game and is wondering why they have you slide your tandems all the way to the back. Hey, Yolanda! It's about to get fun in here now. So why do they ask us to slide our tandems all the way to the back? So that your trailer is even with the dock. That's why. They want your trailer to even with the dock. So that when the forklift goes in and out, it ain't bouncing all over the place. Because it will bounce. more bounce to the ounce. Oh yeah, the low bar Steelers, yeah, they're out here in full force. I'm gonna show you the button. Okay, I'm connected. I hope you guys were able to see the whole process with me in the back of the trailer. The Wi-Fi kind of got disrupted when I went back there. It looks like I'm back on though. Looks like I'm back on. I'm back quiet. Guys, I like to brag sometimes. I'm gonna brag right now. Let me make sure you guys can hear me bragging. Yeah, I like to brag. So right now I'm gonna show off. I'm gonna show off my nuts. Oh, everything's backwards here. But at least you know I showed you my nuts. Yeah. Mega Millions. That's what I had before I divorced the evil one. The evil one was an actress, and she put on an amazing performance. The crazy part was that I have family members who knew her history before I got together with the evil one. I asked, what's the deal? Oh, no, yeah, that's great. Great? You sure? Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm gonna take your word for it because you're family. Not only are you family, but I went personally and got you and your kids and your brother and his family out of a hellhole in Philadelphia. I went and did that. So because you're family, and And I'm guessing you're showing some appreciation. You're gonna be straight up and let me know what's going on. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I know what battered wives have gone through. Hey, Sunflower. Hey. I know what battered wives go through. I was a battered husband. What's wrong, Sunflower? Break it down. Need me to go where you're at right now and flex? I don't fight like I used to, but I could put on a mean face. Sometimes it works. Yeah, sometimes I don't have to put my dukes up. All I gotta do is put on a mean face. And some people are convinced that I'm in trouble. By a girl, yeah? What's her problem? Why did she do that? Why you? Yeah, you definitely need my assistance. What? She said that? Oh, man. See, she doesn't know. She doesn't know you have friends over here. She should come on this channel, like, subscribe, and leave a comment so that she can see that you have a lot of friends over here. And not just one friend, but a lot of friends. That's so ignorant. I can't believe how ignorant that girl is. Major ignorance. Don't you worry about that, Sunflower. She's gonna find out the hard way. She's gonna be shocked. She's gonna freak out. When she sees how many friends you have, her jaw's gonna drop. She's gonna apologize. She's gonna say sunflower. I didn't know. Wow, you got so many friends, sunflower. That's amazing. You're amazing. My question to you is, what are you going to do after she freaks out when she realizes that you got a lot of friends? What are you going to do? How are you going to respond? Folks, listen. When I got this load, I told my dispatcher, hey, this is looking pretty fishy to me. Turns out I'm picking up frozen fish. Sunflower, you still there? Did everyone leave? Live is still going. Let's take a quick peek and see what the market is doing. I just got a news highlight that the U.S. just took over a Venezuelan oil tanker. That's pretty wild. She's doing whatever. But that's kind of weird how they're going after the Venezuelans over some supposed drug trafficking. I say supposed because I haven't seen the U.S. produce any kind of evidence. It's kind of crazy. We're just gonna be blowing people up like that. What's the death toll right now? Like 80 something? 80 something? It's in the 80s, I know that. Some odd people blown out, but with no evidence presented. That's kind of wild. You and I can never get away with something like that. We'd be locked up immediately. Yeah. Immediately. Let me see what's going on over here. So the S&P is up, Dow is up, Nasdaq is down, the rest is up. Crude oil is at $57.72. I'll tell you right now, Exxon, Chevron, they're not happy with that. They're not happy with that at all. Approval to sell the H200. H200 AI accelerators into China. That's the second most powerful chip that NVIDIA has, if I'm not mistaken. It's been approved, sold to the Chinese. Can the Chinese take and improve on that technology? It's quite possible. They'll increase their military's capabilities with those things. And of course, the U.S. government has stake in the NVIDIA company. They actually own a fairly large percent of shares of NVIDIA. That's super wild right there. That means that the U.S. government is a major player in that corporation. It's not supposed to be like that. What's up with NVIDIA's independence if the U.S. government owns a large enough share of a corporation? That's kind of sort of strange. Check myself right here. Let's go. Let's take this one off. And now, let's turn up the sound. And let's go back. Let's see what it sounds like without the headset on, because, man, I'm picking up that reefer sound and it sounds terrible. Let's see what it sounds like without the headset on, because, man, I'm picking up that reefer sound and it sounds terrible. Let's see what it sounds like without the headset on. Sounds a lot better without the headset. How's the audio? Is it better? Is there an improvement? How's the audio? Is it better? Is there Yeah, with that headset, I was picking up the noise from the reefer. Man, that thing was louder than what I thought. That was bad. So you guys didn't hear anything about my nuts, huh? Yeah, I pulled out my nuts. There's an echo now? How about now? Is there an echo? Hey, Sunflower, are you feeling better now that you know that the girl is silly? She doesn't know. And when she finds out, you might laugh in her face. I don't know. So, I chew a lot of sugarless gum. And I don't know what they use for flavoring. But if it's stuff like sucralose, not that good for you. But here's the deal. Why do I chew sugarless gum? It takes 24 hours for what that plaque that forms along your gums for it to harden into tartar. When you chew sugarless gum, it gives you some time so that it doesn't form into tartar right away. So I chew sugarless gum. And I find it best because these are all my real teeth. At my age, these are all my real teeth. Some of them are damaged. I had the same situation with my wisdom tooth that you did, D. It was growing at an angle toward my mouth, and it broke the molar that was directly in front of it. Busted it up. Every now and then I would spit up a new piece of tooth, new piece of molar. I had a hole there for a hot minute. And one time I was eating, I don't remember if it was rice that went in there. The pain was so incredible, I nearly passed out while I was driving. Oh no, I don't smoke at all. My mother was a heavy smoker. She used to smoke, what was it? 4 packs of Pall Mall a day. 4 packs of Pall Mall a day. My mother used to smoke. No filters. No, not for smoking. just for my teeth. I don't brush 4 times a day like some people do. I brush 2 times a day. At night before I go to sleep and in the morning. I can feel some tartar buildup on the teeth on the bottom. It's no big deal. I'll tell you one thing though, I do not like dentists for nothing. They were poking around. And they hit this one tooth, this one area. From the sip. He hit that one tooth. And again, I almost passed out. So I'm not a fan of dentists. And the dentists are always trying to convince you to get rid of your natural teeth so that they can put in, what is it, veneers? I was warned about that back in 1978. The gentleman's name was Sonny. I don't know if he's still alive. I doubt it. But the gentleman's name was Sonny. He owned a brownstone on 76th Street between Columbus and Amsterdam. And he told me, don't let nobody convince you to remove your teeth. He had dentures. He said, don't let them fool you or even try to school you. We have our teeth of our own. Yeah, I'm not a fan of doctors either. And I have a lot of doctors in my family. My brother, his wife, my cousins. Got a lot of doctors in the family. I don't trust doctors. My brother's helpful because he tells me what I need to do to prevent certain things, which is not typical of what doctors do. He's giving me recipes and stuff like that. He's giving me some stuff. Like homeopathic remedies, stuff that he would never be able to do in the hospital. Brandon! This tooth suffered severe trauma when I was in Harlem. And if I could show you underneath, you could see where it looks like the nerve is dead, but it's not. I was discussing some random stuff, and I had gone to the back of the trailer to point some stuff out, but I think my Wi-Fi wasn't working back there. My Wi-Fi wasn't working in the rear. In the rear. Yeah, because pharmaceutical representatives will be all up in the doctor's office. All up in the doctor's office with some new recommendation for a new pill or whatever. Yeah, in the ear. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I took the headset off. That headset was picking up too much stuff. Roger that. Right. Oh, I did. Watching my daughter jam out. When I went to my psychologist last, I was getting an examination. I asked him to take his ring off, and it was a little uncomfortable. He told me that that's not his ring, it's his watch. Whoa. Oh, the proctologist. Oh, wow. Okay. Same thing happened to me. I asked my doctor why he couldn't just do it with the new way, which is by drawing blood. He convinced me that it was more effective to do it the old-fashioned way. And my doctor's like 6'9", and he has huge hands. And he had me in the fetal position. And I never understand why they don't warm up that jelly that they put in your exhaust pipe. The thing is cold. Because it's cold, it makes you tighten up. But when that salami-sized finger, hey. Yeah, and here's the bad part. Here's the bad part. It's to a Walmart. If nobody's ever delivered to a Walmart, Walmart is absolutely terrible when you don't arrive on time. And that was my main concern. That's what I was trying to explain to my dispatcher. Yeah. Pause. No, but the worst is when a 6'8" doctor with big hands checks your prostate and you feel that pressure back there. And you look up to hopefully ask for some relief. But while you're feeling that pressure back there, and he's got both his hands on your side, yeah, you kind of wonder wait a minute. If both your hands are on my side, what is this pressure? What the hell is going on in this doctor's office? And the doctor saying just a little more. Well, yeah, that's not a favorable visit for me. Yeah, so for those who don't know about Walmart, yeah, he is a basketball player. So with Walmart, if you arrive 2 hours, a little over 2 hours before your appointment time, that is classified as being late. No, I don't think the baby oil would have been as cold as this gel that he used. The gel was cold. You know, now that you mention it, I think he did have some rap by Diddy in the background. Yeah, you're gonna have to rewind it. But you heard that story before. Yeah. Tell her I said hello too. Hey, I got a fan. I got a fan. Yeah. So with Walmart, yeah, that gel was cold, man. I wouldn't have protested it as much if it was like room temperature or something like that. Let's say you got an 8 o'clock appointment, 8 o'clock in the morning at Walmart. He had both hands on my shoulder. Yeah. And the pressure was still there. So, you got an 8 o'clock appointment. If you arrive at 6, you're good. But if you arrive at 8:59, you're late. And they schedule you for another appointment the next day, and they charge you for that. If you arrive at 7:50, you're within that 2-hour window and you think you're good. Well, you may not be good in Walmart. The security booth, as you're entering, they're the ones that assign your door. So you might be under the impression, oh, I'm on time. Well, you're not. They give you a host of instructions. Go to door 115, slide your tandems back into the door, chalk your wheels, lower your landing gear, detach from your trailer, and then take the paperwork inside. If you do all that, if you arrive at 7:50 at the guard shack and they give you those instructions and you head over to door 115 and you're all done and you start walking over to the receiving window, and by the time you're done and you're at the window and it's 1 minute after 8, guess what? You're late. So you're gonna have to pay for a rescheduling fee, which will probably be the next day. So you'll lose a day of making money. That's how that works with Walmart. So now I got this load. They haven't started loading me yet. The light is still green. When you back into the door, it'll be green. When they start loading you, that they have to put the ramp down, the light will go red. That's how you know you're not supposed to move, because you got people coming in and out of your trailer. But it hasn't even changed red. It's still green. Show you what I mean. Green. Yeah, Walmart sucks all around. Did y'all see that green flashing light? That means they haven't even started loading my trailer yet. The loading plate is not down. Walmart sucks all the way around. Walmart takes total advantage. And then they got plenty of parking, and not all Walmarts allow you to park on their property to take your 10-hour break. There's a Walmart in Pennsylvania. I was parked in an area away from any of their customers or their employees. When I used to unload trucks for deliveries, if we did not get the freight out in 2 hours, we had to pay $30 an hour for the driver fee. I never received any driver fee. I never received, not from the receiver, never from the receiver. I know that if you go to a facility to deliver, and they take more than 2 hours, then you're supposed to get paid. But the operative word is supposed to. The operative words. You're supposed to get that from your broker, but getting that, it's like pulling teeth out. I forget what kind of pay that's called. That's called it's so rare an event that I don't even remember the name. And the amount that they give us isn't even worth it. The way most carriers pay, your wheels have to be turning. If your wheels aren't turning, you're not making money. Those delay pays, they don't make up. Because in 2 hours of driving time, you can make a lot more money than that delay pay. And I understand these warehouses have their own thing going on. They might be understaffed. They might be waiting for space to be created inside. They could be waiting to merge two products and the other product hasn't arrived yet. There are a lot of things that can happen. There could be an accident inside the warehouse causing a delay. I really don't have an issue. Yeah, Pepsi and nuts. I'm about to brag again. I'm not ashamed show my nuts. But yeah, my biggest problem is with brokers. Brokers who have these. That's the brand I need to get. I need to get these nuts. But dealing with brokers can be hectic. Sometimes their expectations aren't all there. Like when I was discussing earlier about with my dispatcher. First of all, you want me to leave Maine to go to Massachusetts down I-95. Not a big deal. But it's a 3-hour trek. So 3 hours of my drive time are going to get devoured just by going down to Peabody, Massachusetts. It's a 3 o'clock appointment. It's food, so you really don't know how fast they're going to get you loaded or get a door. I got a door at my appointment time, but I've been sitting here an hour. So an hour has been used up with nothing happening. Usually when I have this much time that nothing's happening, I usually take a nap. But as you can see, I'm getting caffeinated. So what happens now? Well, I got these. These nuts. Okay. Okay. I gotta move the trailer over to the right. Can't get the dock plate down. Yeah. Tell you what though. Saw my nuts, but what you didn't see was my salami. I got salami. Actually, I finished it. See if I moved it far over enough. I guess so. The guy left. He's not even checking. That's the brake system. I guess this means that they're finally going to start the loading process. I'm okay with that. These nuts are okay with that. Okay. So once they're done, I don't know how long they're going to take. Once they're done, it's 4 o'clock. Maybe they're done in 10 minutes. Maybe they're done in 30 minutes. I have to leave here onto 95. Well, no, I don't even know if I'm going on that. Well, honestly, I don't know. I need a spotter. It's one of those. It's one of those docks where they have the cushions with the yellow lines to let you line up, and then you got the line on the floor. The line on the floor doesn't line it. Okay, so first of all, the cushions along the doorway, they're all mangled. So they're off to the sides. They don't line up with the line on the floor. Hey, Lisa, stop. Lisa, listen. I love that last video I saw where you broke down how much you contributed with just $50, how much you used, how much of each part of that $50 that you contributed to whatever it is that you purchased with your money. And consistency and discipline, yeah, I'm happy that you're out there doing that. I'm happy that you're out there doing this. I don't provide what see, I have several people that I provide stocks that I personally like to invest in. Okay, perfect. And I don't provide that information. I don't. Only certain people that are learning from me, that I provide that information, I provide those stocks. I had mentioned before, and I'm trying to remember. No, when I got involved in the stock market, there weren't ETFs. There were mutual funds. But mutual funds have their thing. When you purchase in NAV, NAV. And there were fees associated. But I'm not a fan of mutual funds or ETFs, which are funds. It's just that the fund itself can be bought and sold in the market the same way you would buy and sell a stock. However, it works for people, these ETFs. And not only that, the ETFs are built differently than when they first came out. They're built differently now. Now they can be sector specific or specific to a particular industry. Tesla stock went up yesterday, but the damage is already done. They may as well sell out and start over. Yeah, I've never been one to purchase Tesla. Never. To me, that stock, it was good to see you. Oh, my daughter's saxophone recital tonight, her holiday show. I gotta go clean myself up. That's gonna take a while. Okay, okay, Brandon. Enjoy. I would love to go see my children perform. They're performing the Nutcracker. My 8 and my 3-year-old. They're performing in the Nutcracker this year. They're both in the play. So, sure. I'm a stock picker. Yeah, send some clips. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm a stock picker. Always have been. From day one that I started, even after I became a broker, I've always been a stock picker. I build my own portfolios, and my portfolios have done well. I also trade options, so that can be a lot of fun. And when I teach options trading, I always ask to see if a person has an addictive personality. If I detect that you have an addictive personality, I don't teach you options, because I'm sure you know just how crazy you can get with options trading. I also don't encourage day trading, which would be the same thing. But I definitely, and your approach is so professional. I love it. Absolutely love it. And you have that key ingredient. You smile throughout your presentation. That is so important. You smile, and you make investing, and you make investing feel safe. You make investing feel safe. But you do put out a disclaimer in the end, an important one at that. But watching you and listening to you and the way you present everything, it makes you feel safe about investing. I love it. I think it's awesome, because I want to encourage people to get involved in the stock market. Definitely. That's the primary objective of the channel, even though I go so many different directions. It's crazy. But yeah, my focus was on young people in the hood, and I know it's difficult when your income, but you address that too, when your income can feel like it can prevent you from enjoying the benefits of the stock market. I call these people the 2%ers, the ones that go all out and make an effort to find the money to be able to invest. These are people that make sacrifices. And for people with low income wages, depending on their objective, it could be a tremendous sacrifice. The type of sacrifice that I identify but I don't encourage. I identify it but I don't encourage it. That's why I told you this channel I wasn't going to post, but one thing led to another, and I just post whatever until I get back over the road. Yeah. I identify it, but I don't encourage it, because the 2% acquire wealth because the 98% just don't have that discipline. They don't have it. This is a country that 70% of its economy is due to consumption. Okay, so consumption is very important here. However, if you're coming from the hood and you're going to make a sacrifice to increase your wealth, maintain your wealth, then you would have to scale back considerably with your consumption. You have to scale back. There's no other way. No other way. So you're not going to be saving up to buy your toys. And I'm not going to encourage that, because as an investor, I need people to spend. As an investor, I need people to consume. It's kind of like a paradox, right? Yeah. So for the 2%, I'll lay out the foundation. I'll explain what's needed. And yes, we are of the same camp, Lisa. Long-term investing. Long-term investing. That's the key. And for you to accomplish that, why does he want to have beef with Africa? He's trying to establish leverage. Africa is like the final frontier. There is a stock that I purchased that is like the African Amazon. They're in 13 countries, I think, right now. The reason why I'm focused on that, or the reason why my attention is drawn toward that, is because Africa has got a lot of growth potential. A lot of growth potential. There are so many places where infrastructure is needed and it needs to be expanded or enhanced or built up. If you were to compare places where Amazon functions as opposed to where this particular company functions in Africa, you'll see the need, or you'll see just how big of a gap in the infrastructure in the areas where Amazon is working as opposed to the infrastructure where this particular company is. There's a lot of work to be done. There are places where they deliver that don't even have street signs. Houses that don't even have numbers. So you can imagine it's got a ways to go. So I've been focused on that. And going back to what I was saying, the 98% that give in emotionally, that are what do you call these consumers? These I don't want to. These impulsive consumers, the 98% that are impulsive consumers, are the ones that make the 2% wealthy. So I don't make an attempt to try to discourage people from being impulsive consumers. I have laid out the difference between being an impulsive consumer and being part of the 2% that control themselves and that make an effort and are disciplined and consistent and invest. The only dangerous group are the ones that like to gamble. If you day trade, you're gambling. And if you're not careful with options, you'll be gambling too. So you gotta lay down some parameters, or you have to have a mentor that'll help you lay down some parameters when you work with options. I don't even mention day trading because I don't recommend day trading. By the way, this is not financial advice or investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. With options, you gotta lay. Okay, so here's the deal, right? Everybody knows buy low, sell high. You've heard that a million times, right? Buy low, sell high. So you want to buy a stock at a certain price and then sell it at a higher price. Unless this is a company that you want to own for long term. When we're talking long term, 5 years or more. Or at least that's what I used to explain to my customers. 5 years or more. If you want to hold on to a stock 5 years or better, then look for stocks that have certain qualities. And you buy. And when you buy and hold, you don't concern yourself with all the noise that you're going to hear regarding the economy or whatever else. An example would be Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's been around since the 1880s or something like that, or the 1860s, whatever it is. So Coca-Cola's been around since, or has survived many economic storms, depression, recessions, a lot of things, and yet Coca-Cola is still here, and it's global. It's global. Has it increased in value throughout the years? Of course. That's typically what happens. The nice thing is that it's also an income producing stock as opposed to growth stock. You got your growth stocks that don't pay a dividend, then you got your dividend paying stocks that provide you with income. You can do a mixture of both income producing and growth. Growth tend to outperform as far as stock price goes. The growth stocks tend to outperform. And with the growth stocks, if you want to venture off into growth stocks, your growth stocks can provide you with a yield that's greater than the accumulation of the dividends that you receive from your dividend stocks, if you compare them by time. So it is good to have a combination of both growth and income. It's really nice. what percentage of your portfolio you want to dedicate to growth, and what percentage you want to dedicate to income yielding. That becomes personal after a while, once you start breaking away from your mentor. So, yeah, I mean, if you're an impulsive consumer, hey, no shade, no hate, because as an investor, that's how I acquire my wealth. My 2%ers, tighten that belt. Don't be impulsive. Don't get greedy either. Day traders tend to be greedy. Options trader that don't set up the correct parameters and don't control themselves, you're going to be operating just like a day trader. You're going to be gambling. Look at what happens to day traders. Let me explain. Day traders depend a lot on they depend a lot on chart reading. Okay? They depend a lot on chart reading. Technical analysis. That's what they call it. They got all these signs to tell them when to get in, when to get out. They check price patterns. Do they have a double top, triple bottom, a head and shoulders pattern? And it goes on with that. And with their candlestick formations too. Is it a hammer? Is it a doji? An engulfing pattern? Is it a what kind of engulfing pattern is it? Is it a harami? What you got? Where is it along the price pattern? Because that, you got tweezers? What you got? Are you checking the length of the width in comparison to the body? I mean, you can go on. And day traders, they specialize at looking at all these things, all these little details with their technical analysis. They could be buying to open or selling to open. What does that mean, buying to open and selling to open? Isn't it just buying and selling? No. You could buy to open, you can sell to open. So you can open the trade with a buy, or you can open the trade with a sale. Does it matter? Yes, it does. So what's the deal? Okay. You did your technical analysis. You've come to the conclusion that the price over a certain number of days or a certain number of hours or a certain number of minutes, the price of this stock is going to rise. So you open to buy. You open to buy, and you're stuck on that monitor watching the price. The price is going to fluctuate. It's going to go up and down, up and down. But while it's going up and down, what is the trajectory? Is the trajectory going up, or is the trajectory staying flat, or is the trajectory going down? Well, if you open to buy, you want the stock price to go up. And everything is going your way. You already have a price target that you're going to close this thing out. And you're watching the monitor, watching the price go up and down. And then all of a sudden it takes a big dip. It drops. So you've got this green candle that's getting bigger and bigger, getting closer to your price target. And all of a sudden it goes flat. The candle goes flat. And now it's starting to turn red. Whoa! What happened? Now you're wondering what the hell's going on. So you're starting to go to the search, type in the stock, and check out the news, and there it is. Some lawsuit filed, some complaint made, some corporation is producing a superior product. It happened recently with OpenAI. Holy smokes, look at this, guys. Look at this. Let me use this way. Look at that. That ain't no jive turkey. That's a real turkey right there. I'm making chicken noise as well. This thing does gobble gobble. So suddenly, it happened with OpenAI. OpenAI is private. It doesn't sell shares in the market. But OpenAI plans on selling shares in the market. A lot of corporations, tech-related, AI-related, are dumping money into OpenAI. They're dumping money, but they got this circular stuff going on. And Gemini 3 comes out with something equally as impressive or even more impressive. And who owns Gemini 3? Google. So now that caused the concern. Anyone connected with OpenAI could have taken a hit on their stock. And if the day trader is trading on one of those stocks, like Nvidia, for example, Nvidia is investing big with OpenAI. When the CEO of OpenAI came out and said, "Oh, whoa, wait a minute." Yeah. People paying attention to that, they say institutional investors, of course, because they're the ones that move the market. So when they hear that, what do you mean? What do you mean? Whoa. What do you mean? Uh-oh. What? Huh? Oh yeah. They're gonna be making phone calls. They're gonna want to know what the hell's going on. Why is he reacting like this? And their analysts are gonna let them know, hey, it's Gemini 3. Gemini 3? Ain't that Google? Yeah, it's Google. Well, What the hell's going on? Gemini 3 is serious business. What? Yeah, Gemini 3 sure is. Oh, it's right up there with OpenAI, with ChatGPT and all that. Oh yeah. But wait a second. OpenAI, they're not really making money like that. But Gemini belongs to something that already makes money like that? Yeah. So now the institutional investors are like, whoa. I mean, okay, OpenAI has got a lot of potential, but Gemini 3? That's Well, that day trader, maybe he's day trading on Nvidia, and all of a sudden that news, he just lost money on some news that nobody was expecting, because that's not the type of news that needs to be reported to the general public from OpenAI. They're not obligated. They're not even, they don't sell shares in the market. That's the risk you take when you day trade. Most day traders lose money. I forget what percentage of them lose money. It's a ridiculously high percentage, something like 99%, 98%, something crazy like that. Lose money. And if you're green, you're going to get caught up in all these people that are selling you courses on how to day trade. And what happens? They make money from selling you the course. They're not making money from their trading. You find out the hard way. You start day trading, and yeah, you get some wins. But when your losses come through, wipes you out, wipes your whole account out. Same thing can happen with options. You could blow your account up, be gone. However, with the parameters that I provided my students, which are the same ones that were taught to me, they can stay in the game. They can stay in the game. The funny thing about options is that there's one particular type of trade that keeps it apart from either selling or buying, selling, short selling. Do y'all know what short selling is? Okay. Let me explain what short selling is. In order for you to short sell, or what usually happens when you short sell, is that you are borrowing from your broker. But here's the thing, you could borrow from your broker to buy stocks, but you're not borrowing money to buy anything. You're borrowing, did I say right, money, right? You're not borrowing money, you're borrowing shares that you don't own to make money with something you don't own. When you get on your trading platform, you initiate a sale of something you don't own. Let's go back to Coca-Cola. You are convinced that Coca-Cola shares are going to drop because of the season, let's say. It's a seasonal thing, let's say. Let's say every every February the price goes down, and you've been watching the charts. You've been going back for years. You've been noticing this pattern that Coca-Cola goes down every year around this time, and they usually go down by X amount or X percent. So you go in and you open a sell. Yeah, you sell to open. So you're opening up a trade with a sell instead of a buy. You're not buying anything. You are selling. But the shares aren't yours. Your broker is lending you those shares. Here, how many do you need? Well, I need 100 shares. Okay, well, here's 100 shares. And you hit that sell button. And people get confused. I've seen it happen. Because when the price of Coca-Cola goes down, they hit sell again. Why? Because their brain is telling them, oh my God, the price went down. I don't want to lose any more money. Let me hit the sell button again. But that's not what you did to open the trade. You sold to open. You didn't buy to open. If you bought to open and the price was going down, I can understand you wanted to sell because you think you're losing money. But it's just the opposite when you sell to open. If you sold the stock at $100 and the price goes down to $80, you got to buy those stocks back. But you're buying them at 80, which is low. You're buying low and selling high. It's still buy low, sell high, but the order of operations just changed. You didn't start with a buy. You started with a sell. So you sold it at 100. Price goes down to 80. You buy it back at 80. That's $20 per share. Per share, and you sold 100. So multiply that by 100. $20 times 100, and you get to keep that. Why do you keep that? The broker loaned you shares. They didn't lend you money. They loaned you shares. So what does the broker want back? Shares. Yeah. The broker wants back his shares. But I've seen this happen before. They sell to open. The price drops. They panic and they buy it back thinking that they're selling. They made money, but, or they sell to open, the price goes up, they start clapping and cheering, not realizing they're losing money because they got to buy it back, and they're buying it back at a higher price. That's opposite of buy low, sell high. You're buying high and selling low. All right, so I just explained how you can make money when the stock price goes down, when the stock price goes up. You can do the same thing with options. However, there's one thing you can do with options that you can't do with just buying and selling. Yeah. You can make money if the price stays the same. Yo. So with options, you're not buying and selling stock. You are buying and selling contracts. And those contracts are connected to the stock that you're interested in trading with. They call it the underlying. So you got a stock that's worth $100 a share. You want to do an options trade. You decide what strategy you want to use. You implement it. 45 days later, that contract that that you traded with on that stock that costs $100, all of a sudden made you a profit. And when you look at the stock price, it's still $100. It hasn't moved, or maybe it did move, but it wound up here again. $100 hasn't changed, and I made a profit, but it's the same price. If you buy an item for $100, a chair, whatever, you buy a chair for $100 and you sell it for $100, did you make a profit? No, you didn't make anything. However, with options, the price can remain the same and you can still make a profit. Right. So if short selling is confusing, options can become even more confusing. In the beginning, when you're learning, it could sound fairly simple. However, there are a lot of moving parts. And if you're not careful with those moving parts, you will definitely be making mistakes. While your mentor is around, sure, he'll tell you, look, do it like this, do it like that. You'll be all right. But when your mentor's not around, and you've been watching other YouTubers, and you're convinced, yeah, I got this figured out, all of a sudden, boom, a loss. Maybe a big loss. All depends. Are you on the buy side? Are you on the sell side? When you open, are you on the buy side or the sell side when you open? What does it mean? Can you... No, I don't want to confuse you guys. I'm going to let that go. Greed will get you. Fear will also get you. In fact, fear is worse than greed, believe it or not, when it comes to the stock market. Yeah. Fear will get you. I think I'm gonna... Oh, my light went green. Okay, I don't know what the procedure is after my light turns green. I don't know if they come out and give me my paperwork or whatever the case is, but I think this will be it for this live. Everybody that came in, thank you so much. Everybody that's going to watch this later on, thank you for watching. I think I got the most amazing viewers. I really do. I really think so. Anyway, thank y'all. Stay fresh and keep it profitable.